Facebook Marketplace can be such a wonderful tool. I have resold items I've no longer wanted, and I've also purchased a lot of items for my home using that tool within Facebook. But oh my gosh, can it be the most frustrating thing. And today I just need to rant about it. If you're new here, hi, my name is Melody. I make videos about customizing your wardrobe, creating costumes, and generally just being a crafty woman. You can also find me getting up to the same nefarious activities over on Instagram. Actually, quite more frequently over on Instagram. Seriously, go check out Instagram. I am currently trying to sell a handful of things as I'm decluttering some spaces in our home. And oh boy, people do not know how to be people, I guess. They don't know how to communicate. It's driving me insane. So this video is gonna be just a rant, a list of my petty complaints, some of which are actually not that petty. Some of them are genuine issues with this thing that probably should be solved. General communication and etiquette issues that I am seeing within Facebook Marketplace, most of which are coming from the users. So now that we've established exactly what this video is going to be, it is not going to be a deeply thought out, well-researched essay. It is just a rant. I don't want anyone going to the comments and telling me, gee, you complain a lot. That's what this video is. It's just me complaining and posting it with the assumption that many people can relate. Enough of that, let's jump in. I did make a little list to try to keep myself somewhat organized. I'll start with my complaints as a buyer, which are less. Generally, when I go to purchase something on Facebook Marketplace, that's perfectly fine. I don't have too many issues there because I'm pretty to the point about it. If I see something that I want to purchase, I will contact that person. I will say, hey, I'm interested. Is this available? Here's when I could pick up, blah, blah, blah. We go from there, no issue. The annoyances I have as a buyer though, it drives me nuts when I click on a listing and it says, don't ask if this is available. If it's posted, it's available. Well, how else are we supposed to get the conversation rolling? Not to mention, there's been so many times when I have inquired about those exact listings and lo and behold, it's not available. And yet here it is, still posted on Facebook Marketplace. Y'all need to be on top of that. And personally, I don't find it that annoying when someone just sends the generic first inquiry of, is this available? That's just getting your foot in the door. That's just getting the ball rolling. I don't know why people are so offended by that. So it kind of drives me nuts when people put in the listing, don't ask if it's available. What else are people supposed to say? I have noticed too that a lot of people just price things so high. Maybe it's a nicer brand or it's nicer quality and I can't tell that just by looking at the photo. So I don't know, maybe they know the history of the item or whatever. But I'm seeing people price IKEA furniture so high. Again, that's not that big of an issue because I will usually just click out of the listing. Like if it's too high, I'm not gonna buy it. Although there was one time someone listed a chair. It was a leather chair. I want to say they posted it for like 100 or so. And I thought, oh, that's a really good deal for that type of chair. Let me inquire about it. And then they didn't respond. Next thing I know, the listing has been updated. They changed the price from $100 to $600 and they never responded to my inquiry. And obviously I did not want that chair for $600. And then a couple issues I have with Facebook itself. I really dislike when they show you recently sold items. I guess as a seller, maybe it can be good because you're seeing generally what things are selling for and what you should be pricing things. But as a shopper, oh, I hate when it shows me recently sold items because that's where I see really cool stuff and I think, oh my gosh, wow, look at that table or look at that rug. That's really cool. I wouldn't mind having that. And then I realize it's already been sold. Why are you showing me stuff that's already been sold? I literally cannot acquire that item. You can remove that, but then within a few weeks it pops back up again. So I just think that's a really annoying feature that we don't need. We really don't need. And likewise, they like to seed in listings from Poshmark and Etsy and other sites like that. And it's not super clear that these are from different sites. So again, I'll see something really cool and I'm like, oh wow, I wonder what this is. And I click on it and it takes me out of the app and that's when I realize I've been hoodwinked again. But now let's move on to the things that really grind my gears as a seller. Oh my gosh, people do not know how to just ask for things. People do not know how to just ask for things. As I said, people just saying, is this available? And then ghosting you really does not bother me. The way I see it, that's just getting the ball rolling. It's just getting your foot in the door. And I have a feeling that might be how some people bookmark items that they're interested in. It really doesn't bother me. What does bother me is when the conversation goes beyond that and just descends into all kinds of foolishness. I'll just give you some examples of things that have driven me crazy lately. So I have an item listed that someone recently reached out and they said, "Hey Melody, is this still available?" And then they responded, "Oh, I'm so sorry. My grandchild was playing on my phone and accidentally hit the button." Right. Yep, sure they did. If they had not taken the time to type in "Hi Melody" before the automated "Is this available" message, I might have believed them, because you can easily accidentally hit that send message button and it'll automatically send "Is this available?" But you have to type someone's name in. If you want to alter that message, you have to do that typing yourself. Unless they have an updated version of the Facebook app that I just don't have, and maybe this is an update I'm unaware of, Facebook doesn't put the name in there for you. So I thought that was the stupidest lie. It's okay if you're not actually interested in the item. You can just not respond like most people do, or you could just say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I changed my mind." I'm not gonna be offended. I'm actually more offended that you lied to me about something so stupid. I've also had some interesting encounters where people start off the conversation in just the weirdest way. Some months back, I was selling one of my husband's old gaming systems, and I kid you not, the guy opens up the conversation with, "Can I grab it?" Which that's exactly how I read it in my mind. Just, "Can I grab it?" Why would you say it like that? In the interest of trying to get this thing sold, I did respond, and it really went nowhere because they were, going back and forth on when they could or if they could and trying to get a ride. Oh, which reminds me, another thing I've had people do. I have had people express interest in items that I'm selling, and then after establishing contact and establishing that they want the item, then they'll go, "Oh, I just realized how far away you are. Do you think you could meet me halfway?" When I'm like, no, in the description it says porch pickup. Or I've even had people say something about "Oh, I'm trying to get a ride and I blah 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 have this going on," and it feels like they're trying to guilt trip me into meeting them somewhere or bringing it to them. And it's very weird because it feels like they're trying to get something from me, but they're not outright saying it. I think that's when it is the ickiest, when they're saying, "Oh, well, I have this going on and I don't have a car and I can't get a ride." And I'm like, yeah, dude, that does suck, but also that's not my problem. Listen, I'm selling this thing. Either you want it or you don't. Here's where you can get it. And I would be willing potentially to meet up with someone in the town nearby if it's on my way to or from work, and it's something reasonable where I'm not driving super out of the way. But usually these are people who want me to meet them all the way up the road, which I don't why? Why? It's just so insane to me. I also recently had someone contact me about something I was selling, and they asked me to give them my best offer. The listing, I had my price, what I wanted to sell it for, but then in the listing I did say, "or best offer," which to me as a seller means you make the offer as the potential buyer. But they asked me, "Oh, what's the best you can do?" Listen, maybe that doesn't bother some people, maybe you'd be fine with that, but the way I see it is I've already put my first offer out there with what I priced the listing as. So it is up to you to make a counter offer. So when they first asked me, I just said, "What do you have in mind?" Because I want to know what is your offer? And they just would not give me their initial offer. They said, "Oh, well, I just don't want to lowball you, and I just really need a rug because I have a toddler and I blah 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 blah." Again, with the guilt tripping with information about their life that I don't need. And it's if you don't want to lowball me, then don't. I have every confidence that you are intelligent enough to make a reasonable offer. Although I have had people on Facebook Marketplace genuinely offer me $20 on listings that I had up for $150. So you never know, stupidity abounds. But I don't know, I just was this is not how this works. I don't even think I would do that at a yard sale. I wouldn't go up to the person hosting the yard sale and be like, "How low can you go on this item?" I would go up to them and make my offer, and then they could counter. Maybe I'm the one being petty on that particular one, but I just was so befuddled A lot of the issues I have with communication with people on Facebook Marketplace does often also come down to people just not reading the description. I have to put so much in the description because I have the same problems with people over and over again, but they just don't read it. You know, I try to put as much detail as possible, like the dimensions and the size of things, and that it's a smoke-free, pet-free home. And then I also put porch pickup in our town, cash only. And then lately I've had to start putting in the description that I will not give you the address unless you confirm with me an approximate pickup time. Now, I don't need someone to say, I'm coming Tuesday at 3:45 p.m. exactly. I don't need that. I just need the day and a time window, because I want to make sure that I or someone else is home. And I also don't like people just coming to our house randomly, and I don't want to worry about people coming down the driveway all hours of the night. I don't think that's asking too much. I just need like a time range, like Tuesday afternoon between 3 and 6 or whatever, and just update me if you're on the way and that needs to change because of traffic or what have you. But some people get really bent out of shape about that. They get really weirded out if you need a time from them. So I have had lots of potential buyers drop away when I've said, when they've said they're interested, they tell me what day they want to come, and I say, okay, great, can you give me an approximate time? I just need to know before I give you the address because I don't want my family to be caught off guard and blah, blah, blah. And they get so weirded out. I don't know, maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe they feel like that's a safety concern or something, but the way I see it is it's a safety concern for me, having some rando come to my house. When they don't want to give me an approximate pickup time, it makes me feel like they want to come to the house when I'm not home on purpose, or come to the house hoping that no one is home. And that gives me the impression that maybe they're just trying to case the joint. Joke's on them, there's someone home 99.9% of the time. You guys can let me know if there's something I'm missing there, but I don't think that's asking too much, because the people that I end up selling to have no problem giving me a time window, because how else would we meet up for me to sell you the thing? The people that I end up selling to are usually very to the point of, hey, is this available? Here's when I can come pick it up. Would you accept this price? And it's like, sure, sure, sure. Here's the address. Done. So I don't know why that is such an issue. I've also had issues with people establishing interest, saying they're gonna come get it, saying what time they're gonna come get it, and then they look at the address and the town and go, oh, it's actually further away than I thought. Bro, it's in the description. Like, how did you not, at minimum, plug in the town? The town is in the description. You don't need to know the exact address to figure out approximately how far of a drive it is. So again, I don't know what's going through people's heads that they just don't do that. To wrap all of this up, my general issue with Facebook Marketplace as a seller is it too rude to say people's stupidity? I don't know what's going on, but there is just like such a lack of thought and a lack of assertiveness even. I feel like I have to hold people's hand through the entire process. I've even started changing how I respond to people when they say, is this available? Because I used to just say yes. And it's like, okay, cool. It's on you to further that conversation, but people don't. So I've started changing it to the auto-populated response of, yes, are you interested? That way it's like, okay, let's get this ball rolling. And it just drives me nuts. Like, just freaking, I don't know, just make a decision, make a move. If you're not interested anymore, that's okay. You don't have to lie to me about it. You can just say, I'm sorry, I changed my mind. No harm, no foul. But I'm just really, really frustrated with having to hold people's hand throughout the process. Because again, like I said, the people who I end up selling to are pretty much always the people who they get it done. They go in there, they know that they want the item, they say they want it, they say when they can get it, and we establish a meetup time, and that's it. And it's not that hard, and I don't know why people are out here making it so complicated. So that's my rant on Facebook Marketplace. It's just, it's been driving me crazy lately because I'm trying to get rid of some things. And I know I'm not the only person dealing with these bozos out here. Like, is this the epidemic that I think it is? Why are people like this? Anyway, let me know your Facebook Marketplace horror stories. I'm sure people have wackier experiences than me. Luckily, my weird experiences have just been, for the most part, like in the app messaging back and forth. I haven't had anything actually dangerous or creepy, thank God. It's just been people not knowing how to communicate. Thankfully, nothing dangerous. So yeah, let me know your stories. I'm sure y'all have some crazier stuff than I do. If you made it all the way to the end of this rant, let's see, what emoji do I want to do today? A feather emoji? If there's a feather emoji, do a feather emoji. I'm just looking at all my little birds out here who are very angry that I haven't refilled the bird feeder. And if you enjoyed this rant, if you enjoyed this rant or you just enjoyed hanging out today, make sure that you subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.